I have to.
He served his purpose, right?
Yes. Okay, so we are live now.
Oh,
Hi,
yay.
guys. We have a special guest today, Elizabeth. She has an amazing story. She lost over close to 200 pounds. She's
Almost 200 pounds. I have been at 200 now. It's at 190, but we'll get back there soon.
So she's done an amazing job, and today she's going to share with us how she's done it, the secrets she used, how she felt in the whole process, and what future plans you have, where you at now with everything.
Great. Thanks for having me.
So if you want to just say a little bit about yourself so people get to know you a little bit better.
Sure. My name's Elizabeth. I am 51 years old. I live in Huntington Beach, California. I do fundraising for a national nonprofit organization. We were actually, you're from the UK, you're in the UK, right? We were actually in London not that long ago. It was amazing. Sorry, I thought I put my phone on silent, but it's popping. Oh, Gretchen says she's having sound difficulties. She can't hear me at all. I don't know if you're seeing that.
Oh yeah, maybe it's hard if you can't hear it all of you. Maybe she can log out and just try to get back in again. We've had problems with the connection as well. So I'm not sure if it's the internet or it's whatever software we're using now. It might be the problem.
Well, we'll just keep going. Anyway, 51 years old. I've been overweight my whole life. My highest weight was 402 pounds, which was in January of 2014. And so I finally got to the point. I have a son who's 21. I think I had thought about weight loss surgery a lot over my lifespan, but it wasn't until my son was getting ready to go to college that I finally felt like I wanted to go ahead and do it. And so I had weight loss surgery in April of 2014. And I know I'll let you ask questions, but I know there are perceptions about weight loss surgery being the easy way out, but it absolutely isn't. Every single habit in my life has changed. I eat well, I track my food, I exercise all the time. And I don't think after the first year, really, you can even be successful with weight loss surgery if you don't make those kind of changes to your life.
There was actually this issue here in the UK because they were saying that people get the surgery and after that, because they don't change their habits and they don't start living healthy and training and everything, they'll gain the weight back. So they were wondering if there's any point in using public money to actually do it. And I'm happy that you mentioned that because people need to see that it is not the easy way. If anything, it's so much work that you need to put in to just, keep the results and get more results every day.
Yeah, absolutely. And I have a YouTube channel I have since I very first started my weight loss surgery journey. And Jim Haney commented that he can hear us fine. So I think we're good. These are all my YouTube friends and fellow weight loss surgery patients. So it's good to see you guys. But that's my biggest platform. Well, two things my platform about this, the reason I make videos, the reason I do Instagram and do these things is, number one, I want people to know that it's never too late. I was 48 years old and I would have never imagined the life that I have now. It is really, really amazing. And number two is I want to educate people that you have to make these changes in your life. Weight loss surgery, it'll work in the short term, but it's not going to work for a lifetime. You're not going to keep the weight off if you don't make these habit changes in your life.
Yeah, of course, that's complete. I've been overweight. Well, I ended up being obese myself my whole life till a few years back. So I completely agree with you. Unless you make it a permanent change, you just can't have sustainable results, isn't it?
But I also think that people who are, super morbidly obese, like I was at 400 pounds, I had lost 100 pounds before on my own. I think that you often need that kickstart. Not everybody does, but I think if you are significantly overweight and you have struggled with your weight your entire life, you need something like weight loss surgery to give you that start to get into a place where you can deal with it.
Yeah, and I'm just thinking, you said you've been overweight your whole life, and only when you were 48, you decided to actually make a change.
Yeah.
May I ask you why it took so long? What stopped you from?
So I don't know. I think there are a lot of different reasons. And I was at varying degrees of overweight. I mean, probably, when I was, 20 and 140 pounds, I thought I was overweight, and I wasn't. I would do anything to be back there now, but I was an overweight kid. I lost weight as a, late teenager, young adult, but the way I viewed myself was always as very heavy. I didn't gain significant weight until I was in my 30s, to where I was in the 300 and 400 pounds. And it was, it was exhausting carrying on that weight. My son's father died when he was 14. And so it was just us. I worked a lot. I focused on my son, and I think I was just afraid. And when it got to the point that he was getting ready to go away to college, I thought, you know what? I'm going to turn into a crazy cat lady. Once he leaves, I didn't even have any cats then. I do now, and I'm surprised he's not up here because he usually likes to be in the videos. But I was really worried about what my life was going to become after he left if I didn't make some changes in my life. And so I just bit the bullet. And I think even until the day I went and had surgery, I wasn't 100% sure I was going to go through with it or that it would work for me.
Well, I guess any surgery it has its risks, isn't it? And you're supposed to feel a little bit afraid and reluctant.
Yeah. And what I learned, I was so afraid of that surgery. And as a single mom, it's like, I should be able to do this by myself. I should be able to use my willpower to do this, because I don't want to leave my son with no parents. But, what I've realized in retrospect is, at least the surgery I had, which is vertical sleeve gastrectomy, is a very simple surgery. You're in and out of there in 45 minutes. There are many more complicated surgeries going on. And so I shouldn't have been quite as afraid as I was. But
okay. But
I also think that things happen when they're supposed to. And I don't know if I would have been ready for this life and these changes when I was younger. Because it's a lot.
Yeah.
It's a lot. So, from 400 pounds.
After having your son, do you think they piled on, like you gained more weight, like faster than before? Like pregnancy had an impact on your body?
Yeah, I don't know that it was, I don't know that it was pregnancy necessarily, because I lost my pregnancy. I was probably like 200 pounds when I got pregnant, and I lost my pregnancy weight pretty quickly. But then I got depressed, and it was harder, working and being a single mom and doing these things. And I just kind of started using food more, but it might have impacted my metabolism, because it was much easier. It seemed much easier to gain it after pregnancy, but I did initially lose my pregnancy weight without a lot of.
Right. Okay. But then, okay. Cause it's just, I find that lots of mothers, after having a child or two or three, because emotionally they feel so challenged, they do tend to overeat to cope with, the daily madness. And
so, yeah, that for sure. But I don't know that it was pregnancy exactly. It was like all the other stuff that comes with your life changing.
So was there like a particular event, let's say, that like pushed you towards, taking this?
I had what I call my sort of bottom, like I don't know, when that's alcoholics or whatever they say, they hit their bottom. It was actually several years before I did something about it, but my son's father passed away. We were separated at the time, but this was this man that I had loved my entire life, since I was in my early 20s. And he passed away about 7 years ago. And I remember being at his memorial service and being so ashamed of how I looked that I didn't get up and speak. My son did, my stepdaughter did. And here I was a person who had probably, other than his family, had loved him the most during that, period of time. And I was too ashamed to get up and talk. And that was like a real bottom for me. It's like, here's this man I love my whole life, and I am so ashamed by how I look and what that says about him or me or whatever, that I can't say anything. So that was like my real bottom, but it took me and I lost like maybe 75 pounds after that on OptiFast, and started working out a little bit, but I had serious, what is it? Oh, plantar fasciitis. And as soon as I stopped working out, I sort of fell back in, but that was the starting point for me. And then when my son was leaving, I was like, okay, I need to do something. I need to change this because my life is going to be pretty flippin' miserable if I continue the way I'm going.
I'm sorry to hear that it was such a, quite strong. They had such a strong impact on you, and like the circumstances were not that, nice. But I think, I think it's good that it happened to you. I think it's good that you understood that pain that you were feeling and you took action. You didn't, eat more or even become more depressed. You're like, okay, that's it for me. I need to do something. And that's amazing because so many people, they live in denial. They refuse to understand that, okay, I'm not happy the way I am. I'm not comfortable. And then they hit this bottom. Yeah, they have all these circumstances, events that tell them you are not okay. And yet they don't do anything about it. So, the fact that you stood up for yourself, even though it was so sad, everything, and I imagine how overwhelming it was for you and your son, and yet you just, landed on your feet from all this. And that's amazing. It shows such a strong willpower to become better.
What I like to say it shows is that, like I said, it's never too late. And if I could do this, really honestly, anybody can. And sometimes it seems so overwhelming. There were so many like New Year's days where I'd be thinking, okay, I need to lose 100 pounds. If I do this, then in a year, it's so overwhelming when you are so far down. Right now I still have 20 pounds I want to lose and to have plastic surgery. And it's kind of overwhelming now because it's so much harder. But to think back, it's like when it was 200 pounds, it seems like so much. But one of the things that I like to tell people is just start with one little change at a time. Get that. And that's how I started even before weight loss surgery. The program that I was in required us to lose 10% of our body weight before they would approve us for surgery. So, it was way easier to lose weight then, but I would just do one thing. The first thing was, I'm just going to track my food in MyFitnessPal. I'm going to track it every day. I'm not going to change a single thing I'm eating. And I started with just one thing, and then I would do it for a week or two until I felt like it was a habit. And then I would add something else. And just be compassionate with yourself because this is hard.
I'm so happy you're saying this because everybody wants just to do it quick and they want to change. So I know I wanted to change so many times at the same time. And I would say, oh, if only in 1 week I could lose 20 stone, I would be so happy, which obviously is not possible. And just taking baby steps towards your goal is what makes it sustainable. And you can actually, I think that progress pictures help a lot because as you say, it's like 200 pounds is huge. I can't even imagine carrying that weight. And then you still have 20 to lose. And you feel sad about those 20 pounds.
Not that sad, but still, it's a lot harder now. Monica just commented, and Monica has also had surgery and also done a lot of work with eating disorders and that kind of thing. And she says willpower is a myth, and I absolutely believe that. I think nobody has ever changed their life by beating themselves up about something. And we set these goals for ourselves that are just like really unrealistic. And then we don't keep our words to ourselves. It's January 1st and we're going to not eat any carbs and we're going to drink 12 glasses of water and we're going to work out every day and we're going to, blah, 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 blah. And you tell yourself this and then you fail. And to me, part of this is building up these little successes. So say, I drink no water now. I'm going to drink 4 glasses of water a day, and that's all I'm going to do. And then you start to build up some belief in yourself and your ability to keep your promises to yourself.
Yeah, that's true. Just it's hard to break bad habits, but if you take one at a time, you will manage to crack through it and then make healthier choices in the end. Did you get like any, nutritional advice or fitness? Because I see you train a lot, you even lift weights. I'm so happy you lift weights, a woman who's not afraid of weights. That hasn't become a bodybuilder yet.
I love weightlifting. So the different weight loss surgery programs give you different advice, but generally it's in the very beginning, you can't eat very many calories at all. So it's really about getting your protein in, because if you don't, I know one of the things that I was worried about when I was considering weight loss surgery was I would see people and I could look at them and say, I bet that person had weight loss surgery, because they didn't look healthy and their faces looked like drawn. And I think that's probably mainly people who had surgery a long time ago before the, nutritional advice was what it was. But for me, I mean, the biggest thing is you have to get your protein in. You have to build muscle because you're going to not burn muscle. You have to build muscle because you're going to lose muscle in those early stages when you're not eating very much. But so basically in the beginning, it's 60 to 80 grams of protein. And I don't know that my doctor told me this, but I try to keep my carbs below 50 grams. And I mean, in the beginning, you're eating I think I ate 400 calories a day for months. I mean, because that's all you could eat. Yeah. And then particularly because I started training. My nephew was my trainer. So I had someone in the family who would give me a deal. I started training as soon as I was released. So I was probably 350 pounds the first time I worked out with him. And because I was working out so hard, that was a really low amount of calories, but that's all you can eat in the beginning. Right now, I'm 3 years, 4 months post-surgery. I eat about between 1,000 and 1,200 calories a day. I'm doing a ketogenic kind of lifestyle diet right now. So it's probably, I try to keep my carbs below 25 and then protein and fat, but it's mainly a protein and produce diet. I don't eat a lot of, for this last 3 years, I haven't eaten a lot of processed carbs anyway.
Do you miss food, like the foods that you used to eat before?
No, because now it's a little different because I'm trying to be strict with this ketogenic diet because I just want to get this last flipping 20 pounds off. But my philosophy has always been there's nothing that's bad. There are no bad foods. And I can eat, if I'm eating mindfully, then it's not a problem. If I know I'm going to a birthday party and there's going to be cake and I tell myself, fine, okay, I'm going to have a couple bites of cake. I haven't had any cake in a long time. That's totally okay. There is nothing wrong with that. I can be at home stuffing my face with carrots in a mindless, emotional way. And to me, that's when it's a problem. So no, and I really actually enjoy food much more because it's about quality and not quantity.
It's just the fuel to the body, isn't it? Because we tend to be so concerned, am I ever going to eat pizza again? Or am I going to eat cake again? And we are so reluctant to actually take a step towards it because we are terrified that we're never going to enjoy food again. And it's not true. As you say, if you have control over the portions and if you eat it occasionally, then it's not going to affect your weight and it's not going to affect your progress. And you can still achieve your goal and yet enjoy little bits of the food that you like.
And that's, that was a big shift for me. And I'm not sure where it happened, but I went from where I thought about food all the time. It was all I thought about. It was all I was planning for. It was whatever. And now it is really just about nourishment. It's like, I don't really think, oh my God, I get to eat that. Or, oh my God, I'm going to make this. I mean, I really don't. It's like, I'm hungry. What do I have that's healthy that's going to nourish my body? And I don't know when that shift happened, but it's pretty flippin' amazing.
I think it takes a year or two for that to happen because I've been through the same process myself with eating healthy and everything. And I found that now I generally don't have any cravings anymore. Or if I do, it's like dark chocolate or nuts or just the healthy ones. And I don't need to force myself anymore. It becomes second nature.
Right, it does.
Second nature.
Yeah, one of the things, oh, go ahead, sorry.
No, I wanted to say that when you see results on your body and when you see how amazing you look and how amazing you feel, is the cake really more important than that?
It's not. I mean, there is no way. And of course there are times when I want it. I feel fortunate. Sometimes I feel fortunate and I live by myself, but because I can really control my environment. If I had, my son is always been thin, and he's he's a vegetarian now. He's always eaten well, but when he was a teenager at home, there were, you know, chips and, you know, different things. And I'm surprised he is as healthy eater as he is, having grown up with me. But if he were here all the time, it would probably be a struggle with me, because he's like, Mom, is there bread here? No. Why would there be bread here? Right? Because I am able to really control my environment, because there are times if it were here, I would probably eat it.
Yeah, this is a problem, having the food in the house, isn't it? When you walk around, you just have one small bite from here, one small bite from that, and it's only because it's there, not because you want to eat it or because you're hungry, just because it's there on the shelf.
Yeah, so I try to really control that, what's in the house. Because if I'm really craving, like if I want ice cream, I would have to get up, go get in the car, go drive somewhere and get it. And that gives me enough time to make a mindful and conscious decision about it. So it's like, okay, do I really want it? Because I haven't had it in a while, and I'll go get some Halo Top. But I don't even keep really Halo Top. I don't know. Do you guys have Halo Top there?
No. Oh, okay. I don't know, because I don't eat it anymore.
Okay. Halo Top is like a high protein, low carb ice cream that like for a pint is like 200 calories. So it's a good ice cream option if you're going to have ice cream. And it's, you know, I mean, and that's totally manageable within what my plan is, but I still don't keep it here because who knows, I would eat the whole pint. I don't want to do that. But if I really want it, I have to make all those decisions along the way to go get it. And that makes it a more mindful choice to have a quote unquote treat.
Yeah, I never thought of that. It actually, when you crave something and you don't have it in the house, you actually need to drive all the way there. And by the time you get there, you're like, I can make a better choice than that. That's actually good advice for people who are trying to work on their cravings, to not have it in the house and drive 10 miles to go get it. So
well, for me, even a mile, that's a lot of work for some ice cream now. Before I'd go wherever I needed to go to get food. But now it's like, yeah, I don't want it that badly.
I see how happy you are and how peaceful you are, how fulfilled you are. I literally can feel your energy. Were you the same before? No.
You should go and like watch my first video that I did on YouTube. And also I did a video last week that's called A Letter to My Fat Self. And it really shows that difference. No, I think I portrayed happier than I actually was, but no, this is all new, but I say it's really who I was. It was just buried under a lot of sadness and a lot of weight and a lot of stuff. And I still shit still happens. I'm really sad this week because my son's moving to New York on Friday. He's going to do great, but it's sad. I mean, this is a little bit of a sad week, but deep down in my core, I am just very, very happy and fulfilled and excited about what's coming next. And 5 years ago, if you would have told me any of the things, I had never traveled. My first trip internationally was to London in October of 2015, I guess. Yeah, in October of 2015. I never thought I would go anywhere because flying when you're 400 pounds is not easy. I didn't have a passport. And since then and my trip in London was amazing. I went for work. So we stayed at the Savoy. It was like lovely. I went on my first like date there with somebody from London. And it was like something out of a movie because he was like walking me around London at midnight. You know, I'd never been there. I mean, it was the most amazing trip. And since then I've been to London and Mexico and Bogota and probably somewhere else that I can't remember. But all these things, if you would have told me that 5 years ago when I could barely walk, I would have been like, you are high. There is no way I will do all those things.
It's amazing how just by losing weight, that's it, just by losing weight, how much your life can change. I'm shocked. Like every time I hear amazing stories like yours, I feel this happiness because it's like, it's unleashing yourself after all those years where you were practically a prisoner to your own pain and to your own weight. And now you're just like a bird. You just fly, you just feel free and you can enjoy life. Were you very, Did you have hobbies back then? Were there things that you were still able to do it?
I mean, I've always had really wonderful career opportunities. Did I have hobbies? No. I mean, I was a single parent. It's tiring. It's exhausting to weigh 400 pounds. And I do just want to say that it's not just about losing weight, at least for me, that have made these changes. And there are a lot of, I'll say mental mind games. I won't use the F word. A lot of mental mind games that come with this that you have to deal with when, particularly when, I mean, it's one thing if you're losing like 50 pounds, but I think 50 and more pounds, there are things that are changing and you have to figure that out. I mean, like for me, 400 pounds, you're like, of course, very visible, right? Because you're 400 pounds, but you're also invisible. You know, people don't see you and so it's like, well, wow, I'm the same person now, but why is somebody opening the door for me now and talking to me in the store now when they didn't before? I mean, there's a lot of stuff that comes with losing weight and with dealing with real life without the coping mechanism that you've used your whole life. So it's not just about losing weight. For me, I did huge amounts of therapy before I even got to the point of saying I would have weight loss surgery. And I don't think if I would have done that I would have had it. The support, there's a big weight loss surgery community on YouTube. I feel like that support, the process of making videos and sort of chronicling my journey and meeting people who I have made friendships and relationships that I would have never imagined. And I think I think it's a lot of things that have turned me from where I was to where I am now. It's not just losing weight, but I don't think any of them would have happened without losing weight. But yeah, I mean, I guess I had hobbies. I mean, I did, things, but it was nothing like this. I mean, now I have a real passion for life and for experiences. And before it was just like trying to get through the day.
Well, what a difference. And I completely agree with you. I mean, one of the issues why you overeat is because of the emotional pain. And I keep saying that because when you carry all this, whatever traumatic events you might have had, and this pain just makes you eat more and more. And I keep saying that you need to work with yourself within first, and then your body will show that, because the body responds to stress levels, isn't it? To hormonal imbalance, to all these factors that are not in our control and we don't actually see it, is what influences our weight a lot. There's people who barely eat and yet they are overweight and they wonder why.
Yeah, because they're cortisol. I mean, lots of reasons. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. There's so much, and it's not just about what you eat or the kind of life you have. It's so many factors influencing your mind, your heart, your soul, your body at the end of the day. And I believe the more we get like this complex picture of everything, the better we can like make a choice or start from somewhere. Because it seems so hard to start from somewhere.
It is, and it is so hard, but that's why I say just one step. I mean, just one little thing. I mean, losing weight is not rocket science. I will say if you're significantly overweight, it's a lot easier with weight loss surgery, but we know what to do. It's just so overwhelming to change everything in your life. And I just want to touch on, because fitness is your thing, right?
Yeah.
Fitness, right? That has been, okay, I was the kid who like thought of every reason why I needed to get out of gym, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. As a kid, I never thought that I would be fit and competitive and passionate. I work out now because my trainers changed gyms. I work out with two guys and I like to be like, I want to beat them. I mean, and I plank and jump. There was a while, like my first year that I was exercising, I planked everywhere. I planked in London. It was like a joke that I would plank in all these states. And I, jumping rope and handstands. And then I love it so much. And being a fit, healthy person. And there are a lot of people who have weight loss surgery who don't do that, who don't take on the fitness part. But for me, that's been as life-changing, because look, I'm competitive. I'm an athlete. What? That is crazy.
Did your family, like parents or brothers, sister, did they used to do any kinds of sport, or there was a general lack of activity, a physical activity?
Well, so I was the only child of my parents, so neither of them did any physical activity. I have half siblings on my dad's side and my mom's side. My two brothers who were born when I was 15 and 18, they were involved. And my brother Steve, he lives in Bogota in South America, and last time he was here, but the time before, he wanted to go work out with me, and we worked out together, and it was like so fun. And he was like, damn, sis, this is a hard workout. And he's really fit and young. And I'm like, I know. And it was so fun to be able to share that with my family. But no, in general, it wasn't, in my growing up, it wasn't a thing. No, nobody really.
It wasn't. And I think that's one of the problems why so many people like end up being obese, or kids are so overweight, because there's nobody to teach them, to guide them towards any kind of sport. It was the same in my family. I can't remember my father kicking the ball once. Like, there was nothing like that. Just work and watching TV and drinking beer. That was the norm. That's it. And
that's exercise, right?
Yeah, I guess we work the biceps. And I started my fitness journey when I was 22 years old, which is 5-6 years ago. That's when I started fitness. And as you say, just, little steps. I didn't know much about it. I learned more and more. Then I ended up, opening my own gym. And now I'm I just guide people, and I encourage them, and I teach them stuff. So it's amazing what sport can bring. And for me, for example, fitness replaced the food addiction. I would get hungry, I would do push-ups. I get hungry, I go and jog around. It helped me control it. And I don't think I could have ever done it without sport.
Oh, interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, for example, I lost 200 pounds, so I have loose skin and I want to have plastic surgery. But compared to other people who've lost that much weight, because I worked out from the get-go, I think that my body looks much better than it would have had I not done that from the get-go. I still want to have plastic surgery, and I will by the time I turn 52. But it makes such a difference in how your body looks.
You've done so amazing. You've lost 200 pounds, and you have this little bit left, isn't it, to get that dream body that you want. But never forget what you've done, because even if you get this surgery or not, is what you have become and the way you are now compared to before. Like, nothing beats that. No loose skin on any part of your body can beat that. It's impossible.
Yeah, it doesn't even bother me that much, but I'm ready to, I just want once in my life
Okay, are we coming back? Yes, we're back.
Do you want to come back or okay? All right. But anyway, I was just saying, I want it because I want to have a conventionally beautiful body for once in my life, and I deserve it. So that's basically what I said when we first. But
I completely support you. The most I lost, it was 90 pounds.
And that's a lot.
It is, and I'm quite short. I'm 5 feet, so I was looking like a pumpkin. And I have my own loose skin a lot, and I've been breastfeeding my son for over a year, so there's no fun up there either. And I'm thinking of doing this myself, And so I completely support you. Do whatever you have to become that empowered woman that you work so hard for, isn't it? So I want updates. I want updates and I want picture and I want to see how amazing you're gonna look then.
Oh, I'm never shy about sharing the pictures on Instagram.
Were you the same before? Did you use before? Did you used to have the same confidence in front of the camera?
Are you kidding? No. I have. It's very hard to track down before pictures. Yeah, I know one of my. Yeah, no.
No, leave them. Forget about that. This new you. That's all you need.
So,
are you? What are you working towards now? Do you feel like competing in any fitness competition?
I'm not sure. I don't, for a while I thought about wanting to do like a half marathon or something, but I just don't really think it's my thing. I love to run and I love that I don't know if I could do it now because I haven't done C to 5K in a while, but that I could run a 5K was like shocking. But I just don't know that it's my thing. I like more the strength training stuff and I don't know what I would compete at with that. Right now it's really, let's just get this last 20 pounds off and be done with this and maintain. I mean, I've maintained 100 pounds lost for 3 years, 190 for 2 years. So that's awesome, but I would like to wrap it up.
Yeah,
it's all about me and my choices. If I were strict keto, it probably would have happened already. So.
Well, the body in the beginning loses weight very quickly and then it tends to slow down and then you have like plateau periods of time. It's perfectly normal. So don't be too harsh on yourself.
It's fine. But in terms of, I do have a big goal to figure out how I'm going to get and pay for plastic surgery by my 52nd birthday. I mean, and I'm just continuing my fitness to keep doing what I'm doing because it's worked.
It works. Yeah. And just, we're so concerned with the way you look, but at the end of the day, you just want to be healthy. I mean, you have a son, you have to be there for. So, you want to meet your grandchildren. So it's just about being healthy and have a longer and happier life. And you want your family to enjoy you. Like, you don't want to be moody and sad and depressed and, they stop calling you at some point. They just let you be. You want to be a joy to them. And if that's the lifestyle that works for you, keep up the good work then.
You.
Do you have any advice for people that might want to get the surgery or for people who are just, simply afraid to start to make a difference in their lives?
My big piece of advice is one little thing, whether you're having surgery or not. I mean, if you are significantly overweight and have been overweight your entire life, I say look into surgery. I was afraid of it for a long time and it is not that scary. And I will stay here where I'm at because of the habits I changed, but I would have never gotten here without weight loss surgery. I could not have done this on my own. It is a true metabolic reset. It's not just about the fact that your stomach is smaller. So I could have never gotten here without it. So if it's something you're thinking about, I would investigate it. There's a million YouTube videos out there about weight loss surgery. Some great people. If anybody wants to reach out to me, I'm happy to, direct them in that way. But really my thing is, don't be so hard on yourself. I mean, don't be in denial, but also, one thing at a time, you can do that. Build up some confidence in yourself. And if you mess it up, start right back the next day. But don't think that it's a setup for failure to try to change everything in your life overnight. And I think that's where we get so stuck is we say, I'm going to do it. Look, this person do it. I'm going to change everything in my life. And then 3 days later, you're eating chocolate in the bathroom and you're so mad at yourself because you haven't done what you said you were going to. But when you try to change everything, you can't do it. It's impossible.
To make everybody feel better, we have to confess that, as an overweight person, we always end up eating in the middle of the night somewhere in the bathroom, on the toilet, in the garden.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. And you can't change everything as much as you want to. Start with one small thing, get it down, and move on to the next thing. And you will be amazed. I mean, I lost 40 pounds before my surgery, really without doing anything that terribly hard. By just making these little changes, because when you're 400 pounds, it's not as hard to lose 40 pounds, but I did not do anything drastic in that 3 months before surgery, and I lost 40 pounds by making these little habits. And because I did that before surgery, it was way easier for me to adapt after surgery.
That's great advice that you just shared with us. And I hope ladies, mothers, you heard it from Elizabeth, she lost 200 pounds. So regardless which way you want to take, just make a change and become healthier and become fitter and become this amazing person who just, you know, you'll embrace life and joy and just, you know, be great every day. Just be alive again.
It's possible. I mean, that's the other thing. It's possible. You can do it. If I did it, you can do it. Trust me.
It's just, you know, be disciplined, put the work in, and you will get results in the end. I guess that's what it is. Elizabeth, thank you so much for your time. It's been great talking to you. Your story is truly, truly inspiring, and everything you've managed to overcome is, you've done great. And I'm so happy that you shared your story with us.
Thank you for giving me the opportunity to do it. I like being on the other end. It's fun. Usually I'm interviewing.
Again, then we should do it again.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Steph.
Thank you. Bye, guys. I'll see you. Oh. Ah, why did he end?